I could not believe my eyes. I used to be amazed by Helmet, and this game pushed the limits of not only what Helmet could be, but Roblox as a whole. Despite the years long trend of Roblox rewarding sloppy grinding games and punishing games made with actual passion, there are always games that push the limit on how good a game you can make in Roblox. But there's always something missing with the previous realistic games. It is the feeling. This game's the first to actually make me feel immersed, like I was some special ops guy doing ops. What is Project Apex? Project Apex is a tactical helmet cam shooter set in a world similar to 2019 geopolitics. Global warming causes the tides to rise, which threatens the shores of the world. A series of resource wars happened in 2018, caused by the rising tides. In 2020, researchers proposed a controversial plan to cool down the Earth's core and atmosphere. Titan, a global corporation which started as an American based private military company, opposed the plan and responded with Operation Noah's Fleet, constructing massive underground cities and vaults to prepare for a future where the planet becomes uninhabitable. Skepticism grows over the motives of Titan, being accused of exploiting the crisis for profit. And it gets worse as Titan receives backlash for delays and prioritizing elite clients in its projects, causing riots and protests to erupt worldwide. Amongst the growing chaos, fanatic religious groups start appearing. They interpreted the floods as divine punishment and launched crusades to purify humanity. They would target Titan facilities because Titan was trying to play God by making shelters from the floods. The group suggested that humanity could not and should not interfere with the punishment. Due to the frequent attacks on construction sites, progress on Operation Noah's Fleet is hindered. In 2023, one of the religious groups named the Hands of the Eternal Flame would be sponsored by the United States government to oppose Titan's plans and offensives for the ongoing crisis. You play as one of the operators in the Apex Squad of the Titan Corporation's Special Forces, a genetically modified ragtag, absolute chad of a squad consisting of 4 people. You can choose to be any one of them, and after starting the game, you and the 3 other people will prepare yourselves for the mission, reading the brief and gearing up as long as it's within the budget, otherwise you will not get an S rank. This game is the most realistic tactical shooter on Roblox that I know of. The realistic things include, but are not limited to, the fact that you always wobble as you aim because of the weight of the gun, and it wobbles more intensely as you walk. This affects your accuracy, though if you're in a situation where you're trying to hit an insurgent at a considerable distance, don't wait for the circle to wobble over the enemy and instead aim center mass or at the legs and fire more than once to hit. This is very easy to do. And damage here is very realistic, as hits on different areas of the body cause different reactions. If you shoot the torso, it makes them stagger. If you shoot the head, they instantly die. If you shoot the limbs, you know what happens. But if you shoot any part of the body enough times, they go down, and you can restrain them so they won't be able to get up if they ever fake their deaths. The voice acting in this game also slaps. I just wish there were more casual interactions between the squad members.
Can't we just blow it up? It's quicker.
My personal favorite character in terms of their lines would be Odin, and my favorite lines of his would be the one where if you keep failing to lockpick a door, he would give angry, sarcastic
You can't get
remarks.
that. Just let someone else have a try.
Despite the hardcore realism making you think that it would be slow and clunky, it actually isn't. The game felt very smooth to play without it feeling like a drag almost all the time. The exception being when the game doesn't tell you where to go, which can confuse you, making you walk around the map for the extraction point in Warehouse. Even when you get to the chores, despite it having animations for everything, the animations feel quicker than in other games. The shooting doesn't feel too difficult, and gets easier within a few more playthroughs of the missions, but still feels realistic because in real life, controlling a rapidly firing gun is difficult, even for trained operators. If you're one of the players who skipped watching a guide video and jumped right into the game, which is what I did, the game literally tells you which button to press depending on where you're looking at. The game practically handholds you with the controls as long as you know the basic universal keybinds of a shooter. I played the hardest difficulty, which is called Spec Ops once and with only one other guy, and I don't know if this is because this is only the second mission of the game, but it was pretty easy. All you had to do other than basic room clearing was rear security, and you're set. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the two most common causes of death for new players are not covering your rear and not being careful. These are true for me, I'm a new player, so the lesson is to take it slowly. It's a CQB game that's pretty realistic and more so for Roblox shooter players, and cover your rear and sides as well, or while the others clear a room. And now, let's go over the issues of the game. There are two bugs so far that I've found and recorded in this game. The first one is the enemy teleporting. So here I staggered a dude and killed his buddy, and when I went to bash him, he teleports away from my swing and dumps a mag on me. Don't mind the slow reaction, I was still pretty new and sometimes I was a bit slow. And I was not in the mood to play, but I had to record. I got carried away and decided to solo warehouse on Spec Ops. The second issue is the third keycard scanner suddenly being open. One of my squad mates just rushed in while the others were cleaning out rooms. Obviously, I'd like to shoot every person and not just do the objective. Which moves on to my third issue, which is the design choice of having to find keys. I was stuck one time while trying to find the key to get into the staircase in Confidential Jeopardy, and it turns out it was in the yellow box. I don't like having to search for keys as in finding the object because pretty much everyone prefers maximal gameplay and minimal chores or side quests that aren't the gameplay. Not having to search for the key task means that the random key cards lying around on tables need to go and instead have them be with important individuals who are armed. This is better because logically, it would be logical to keep the important keycards leading to the stolen intel with important individuals, and for the gameplay, it wouldn't even be a chore as you can eventually find the keycards, as searching bodies is common practice. And furniture here is such a hindrance. I think rifle bullets absolutely go through them. Also, I know I'm supposed to shoot the head here, but it's still frustrating. One more thing, I actually despise red vignettes. Not only is it annoying because it's visually annoying, but it would also be lazy to use red vignette to signal low health. Instead, make the movement slower or make you limp if you get shot in the legs. Make the effects of the wounds more visible and affect your movements more. Anyway, I have two suggestions. The first being a feature where you can raise your weapon to shoot over obstacles, but at the expense of accuracy, which will drop to zero quickly, depending on how high your hands are from your body. For the second suggestion, make it so that the enemies are better at CQB. Not Special Forces level of skill, not even close since they're just a bunch of thugs, but at least make them try to clear the room that their buddies got killed in. This is the way to do solo pretty much, just wait it out. Although this doesn't change the difficulty at all since you're already pointing at where their heads would be, it'd still be a pretty neat feature. And I've got nothing to say at all for Outbreak mode. If you know me, I don't like COD zombie styled gameplay. It's absolutely boring with zero danger or adrenaline if you don't count the huge number of zombies in later rounds. That's what I think of the game. Overall, a fun experience. If you like the video, like it. If you love the video, subscribe. I'll give this an 8 out of 10.